Today I'm going to teach you how to make these light boxes. Alright, for those new to the channel, my name's Jordan. I opened the 3D print stop in Bellevue, Nebraska, which is a local 3D printing supply and manufacturing store. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Alright, once you open up Shaper 3D or your CAD of choice, you're going to create a new project, and you will first need to upload your image that you're trying to recreate the light box for. So you will go to File, Import File, then wherever you saved your picture, I just have mine in my Downloads folder. We're going to import this into Current Project, and boom. All right, we are going to resize this real quick so it's the size of the light box we want to print. So we can click on the actual dimensions up here, and I know I want mine to be 236 tall, and it should auto adjust. And one last thing, I'm going to move it directly to the center. So first we want to hit done, and then click on the image and hit M or the move key, and we will center this. I'm going to get it close to the center. It's not snapping because it's an image, and it would snap a vector file or SVG and all the vector lines that you actually draw from it, but the images won't. So I'm just going to zoom in until it's pretty dang close, and then we can zoom back out. I'm just using the scroll wheel for this, and once we have that, we can click out of it, and we will start our first sketch of making a bounding box. So we're going to click our rectangle, go to the top of the picture, zoom in till you get a corner. You can see they are between lines, so it's just slightly over this line. So I'm just going to keep zooming in until we can actually find the edge of it. So that looks good right there. And then we're going to zoom back out and go to the bottom corner. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to zoom in till we find one of those edges. And perfect right there. And this is going to be the white portion of the light box that we're going to print all white and UV print on. So now we have to build a border. So we deselect everything. We can double click the outer box and it will highlight the whole thing. Go over here to More and select the Offset Edge tool. Then we're going to offset it by 5 millimeters. And then you can click out of it and that will be there. Now we can actually shut off our image and just keep working with what we have. And this is how I build all of my light boxes originally. I usually do the faces at 1 millimeter thick because there's no colors for it to break. I can actually get away with a 0.8. So it's going to be 4 layers at a 0.2 millimeter layer height. So we're going to click the center and we're going to extrude it. I'm actually going to go down, so negative 0.8. Perfect. And then this is going to be the white section. So I'm just going to rename it white. Keeping these things organized is very crucial, especially when you start modeling things that have a lot of different pieces. This box will only have 3 pieces total, but get in the habit of doing it and you'll thank me later. All right, so we're going to start on the border, which is going to be black. So you hit the E key and then select the face you want to extrude. And I need to match that 0.8 downward real quick. So negative 0.8, and then hit enter, and we're good right there. We're gonna rename this black because the outer box of my light boxes are black. Then we're gonna hit the E key again and select just that outer black portion, and we're gonna extrude it 40 millimeters high. All right, so now you have a box, and this is the white piece and the black outline. So next we're gonna start working on the back plate. We want to work on the top of that plane, on the top of the back of the box. So you can select this most upper face and then click sketch. So now we're sketching on top of that outer shell, and I'm going to just do an offset of this inner layer by 2 millimeters. So we have a 2 millimeter gap. Perfect. All right, so now you see the sketch. We have this inner part, this middle part, and then the actual outer base. So we're going to select the inner part. We can hit E first. Select the inner part. I'm going to extrude it downward -4, and that is -4 millimeters. And now if we hit E, we can't select the other part of the sketch real quick, so we can hit cancel. We have to turn our sketch back on to the left. So turn it back on. Now we have that selection available to us again. We're going to hit E again to extrude. We're going to click this, the empty space in between, and the base, and then we're going to go up 4 millimeters. And now this made it all one solid block, which is not what I want. So we're gonna click this little button right here and toggle it to a new body. So now we have 4 bodies, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can get rid of these first 2 to show this is gonna be the initial look of our backplate. We can actually select both of these by holding Control, clicking both of them, and then we're going to union them together. This is called a Boolean in most CAD. So we're gonna Boolean union them together. So now that's just one piece. Now we can rename this back plate. All right, and now we need to work on the tabs. So I don't like gluing my light boxes because you can't access the LEDs later. I like to have tabs that you snap in and you can pull apart in case you need to access the LEDs again. So we're just gonna select a side. Let's go right side. And you can see how this is the protruding part and this is the inner part. We're working on the inner part only. So we're gonna select here and then sketch off of this inner part. And then I make my tabs 10 millimeters by 3.8. These blocks change on the scale of how far you zoom in and zoom out. So if I zoom into here, each of these is 0.5 millimeter. So I'm gonna go out to here, and then if I go here to the middle, that's 5 millimeters. So I'm gonna go out to 10, and then we're gonna go up. And we don't want it to connect to that actual protruding face because it's gonna make the next step a little harder. So I'm gonna move it down to 3.8 and click it. And if you get off like I did there, just click that number and hit 10, and it should readjust. You'll be fine. All right, up next, we're gonna hit extrude. I'm gonna just flip this around. We're gonna extrude that little tab. I'm gonna go out 5 millimeters and see how it made it all one piece. We're not gonna do that right now. We're gonna change it back to a new body. All right, so there's that. You can hit done. We can rename this tab for right now, but they will all be union into the back plate eventually. All right, next step, I chamfer these to make it easier to snap into place, and I always move it until it's 1.4. I've been designing a lot of light boxes, and this is what just has been the perfect fit. So I do 1.4, click somewhere else, and we're gonna click that middle face and move it until it's at about 4. So it's 4 wide, and it has that little chamfer on it. So now once we have this, select the body of the tab on the left, and then select more, and click mirror. Now we want to mirror it to the other side, and because we centered this whole project in the beginning, we can just click this plane, and now it perfectly mirrors it to the other side, and just hit done. So now you have 2 tabs on the other side. Perfect. Now we can do the same on this side. Now we're going to select that shorter face and hit sketch. Zoom in a little bit. So now these are flipped. The bottom is the extruded piece, and the top part is the piece that's on the inside. So we're going to work on the top part. We're going to go over, click there. See, now this is 10. Go down until it is at 3.8. Perfect. And I didn't mess up that time, so we're all good. Now we're gonna hit E, do the same process, go up to 5, make sure it's a new body, and then select the edges and go to 1.4, and then select the face and go to 4. Perfect. Now we can rename that tab 2 and select it, hit more, click a mirror again. Now we're gonna mirror it on this other plane, and now it's perfect on that side. So these are our 4 tabs. That's exactly what we want. Nice spread out, nice even contact. We're gonna select everything by holding control and selecting the ones we want. And we're gonna join them all together to the back plate. And then you're gonna hit more, click union again, and hit enter. Sometimes this will rename it based on the first one you actually select. I selected tab 2 first, so I'm gonna rename this again to the back plate. Now, this is going to be a vertical light box. So I'm gonna go to the top, and this is vertical. I'm gonna put in a couple pieces to make it easier to hang and for the LED power strip to come out. So I'm gonna start with a square. If you zoom in, so the squares are kind of big. It's hard because this is white. I'm gonna change the color for you real quick to visualize it better. So we can go to visualize, and I'm gonna edit the standard material and just turn it down a little bit. All right, so let's go back to modeling tab. We're gonna select this and hit sketch. Now you can see the line's a little easier. We're gonna hit the rectangle. We're gonna wanna model a 50 by 10 millimeter box. So too big, that's 70. We're gonna go down to this one, and there we go, 50. If you do it on these squares, it's gonna be much easier for this next part. So 50 by 10, perfect. Then you're gonna get off of that and select your line. So if you perfectly have it set up on one of these bigger squares, when you come in here and select your line and make these jagged edges, they're always going to equal 5.831 for the perfect tooth to hang up on a wall for the nail. So that's trying to snap to that, but we want to go to 5.831 and then just keep doing that all the way down the rail. And perfect. All right, once you have the left side done, you can make another line down the middle and then select all these by just left clicking and dragging over them. Now these are all selected. You can click more again and mirror it, and then select that middle line, and it's perfectly mirrored. So now once you have all that, I'm just gonna create a circle for the hole real quick. The plugs I use, 16 millimeter hole is perfect. So you just make the circle, make it 16 millimeters, perfect. The next step is we're gonna actually poke these holes through. So we're gonna click the circle and then come up here, and we wanna cut out this side and this side, but we're gonna leave the teeth up there. That's what the nail is gonna hold on to. And then we're just gonna drag it down until it goes all the way through and hit done. So now we have teeth holes and a circular hole. I'm gonna flip it over to the other side. So this is the inside. So because I don't like the nails being this far deep into it and like touching the LEDs if possible, I click on this backplate. We're gonna create a new sketch, zoom in to the teeth again, just take this line, start from the top left corner, go all the way to the right, and then hit escape. So now we can actually select all of these teeth. We're gonna hit E to extrude this one and select every tooth and go down -4. So that's exactly half of the box size. So now when this prints, you will have this little indent that the nail can get stuck onto without messing with your LEDs. All right, so we are almost done. Now we have the backplate finished. We can turn on the outer box and the white piece. And if you want to visualize it even more, we can change. You can just select any color, drag it to the part you want to change the color, and then we can edit the color. We're gonna make that one white. We can also change the environment so you can see it a little better. Let's do classic mood. All right, go back to the modeling, and now we have the black sides, the black backplate, and the white surface. The only thing left to do is to make these tab holes into the sides of the black outer box. So we're gonna select both the backplate and the black box by holding Control and selecting both, and we want to subtract. And you'll know it's right when you see the little holes in the box, because if these were flipped, this is the positive one and you're subtracting the box from it, and it's actually making these tabs just shorter. So we don't want that. I'm just gonna hit cancel and redo it. So backplate black and hit subtract, and so now you see these are getting cut from the backplate. If you just hit done, your backplate actually disappears and is gone forever. So to not do that, hit this little gear and keep the removed bodies. So now the back plate is gonna get subtracted from the box and also stay there. So we're gonna hit the done button, and now it's there. We can turn that off and make sure the holes are still there, which they are. This is perfect. We are done with our basic light box. So now we're going to export this. I'm gonna export it into STLs, and I'm gonna say GTA Lightbox STLs. Once those are there, you just need to extract them. All right, now you need to upload these to your slicer. I use Bamboo Studio for most of my light boxes, so I'm just gonna double click the back plate to open Bamboo automatically. And then once that's open, we can pull in the other two as one single piece. All right, once that gets imported, we can open up a new build plate and we will add the rest of the box. So go back to where your files are. We're gonna select both of them at the same time, the black and the white, which is the rest of the box, and drag them in at the same time. It's gonna ask, load these files as a single object with multiple parts. We click yes. So now they are combined, and no matter what, wherever you move them, they're gonna stay together. So we can right click, center, that's perfect. And now we need to color these. So over in your filament section, you can select, let's say the first one, I'm just gonna use black as the first color, white as the second color. Make sure these are both the right materials. So I'm just using generic PLA for both. And now everything's black. Let's go to the objects tab, and the white, we're gonna select your white button and hit the key number 2 because our filament is the second key. So now once that changes, we can move this little prime tower out of the way. And now we just have to make room for the box. And there's that. And one last thing, go back to the first plate. This back plate needs to print upside down because we're not gonna print with this overhang. So we're gonna select the back plate, click this lay on face button, and select the top, and we're done with that. So now we have 2 plates for the light box. All of these settings are gonna work exactly the same in Orca as well. So if you have Orca Creality, Orca Snapmaker, Orca Elgu, Orca anything, all these settings are pretty much in the exact same spot too, and it all works pretty much the same. But once your print's complete, right, so now you're gonna wanna take it out and inspect it and just make sure the white is all clear, and this one looks perfect. Now we have to move to the UV printer. I forgot to add, before you move to the UV printer, you actually want the back plate, but I guess this really depends on what UV printer you have. On mine, it has a suction plate to actually hold the part down without it slipping and sliding around, so you don't need an extra jig. And I need the back plate to actually have that suction be held down, whereas if I just had the back of this open, it wouldn't have any surface area to suction down to. So I'm gonna wait for this to finish, and then I'll show you on the UV printer next. Once you get your light box put together, we can now set it up on the UV printer. One of the biggest hacks I have for you guys, if you have one of these brands of printers, is finding a file that is in millimeters that goes the full scale of your printer and just print it directly onto the bed. So this has helped way more than just once. I can line things up easy because of these numbers, and this is how I set everything up. This gives you how even the head is as well along the X and the Y. So we line it up to this point and make sure it touches the line on this side and on this side, and we should be good. So just like this, we're gonna line it up. All right, and then once you can see the line all the way down this side and all the way down that side, we will turn on the vacuum. There's a little button down here, and now it's not gonna move. So once the vacuum's on and everything's lined up perfectly, we can start the UV print. All right, my specific UV printer which I'll link down below, uses DTG RIP. So this is one of the UV printing softwares that are available. I've used ProRip before and I like this one a little better. So thankfully this printer uses the DTG RIP. Once we import our image, we want to make sure it's the same size. So 236, 166.5, perfect. And instead of being vertical, I'm just laying it horizontally. So I'll put the box in horizontally on the printer itself, which is either way is fine. Now we need to figure out where to lay it. The white piece is 236 by 166.5, right? So if you want a little bit of wiggle room, the image is going to come in at 0, 0. So to give us a little room, we're going to make it 4 because the outer shell is 5, remember? We're going to offset the X and Y by 4. So it's going to be 1 millimeter into the black, which is totally fine because this one actually has a black border. It's going to work out perfect. If we just printed straight the 236, it will be off by 1 millimeter on the bottom. We would have to do an exact 5 by 5, but there's no room for air. So I'm going to add, so if the box should have been 236 and the printable area is 236, but we subtracted it by 1, we have to at least add 1 millimeter, but I'm just going to add 2. So it's 236, I'm going to add 2, go to 238, and if you hit enter, I have my equal proportions turned off, false. You can turn it to true, but I don't want to mess that up right now. And the height was 166.5, so I'm going to go to 168.5. All right, so now we should have a millimeter overlap on the black on the top and bottom and left and right, so we should be good. All right, so now we can actually print this on the box. So we're going to select print. For my printer, exactly, which thinks it's the S-Bin L1800, we want to select this white in color, and then the white channel is this first one. So if you want to add a clear coat afterwards, you'll deselect this one and select this one, and that's the varnish. So you can do full color on this one and then turn that off and run it again for the varnish, but I won't need to use the varnish. I think it's fine with just the color. The color itself is very scratch resistant and it's not going to come off. So we're going to hit OK and we're going to hit print. And let's go test it. All right, now it's time to add the LEDs. And all I do is buy these LEDs off of Amazon, and then I buy these 12-volt DC adapters, and then I splice them together, and I'll use these heat and shrink tubing that actually has solder in them. So it solders them together once you heat it up enough, and you create your LED line. And then this is gonna get plugged into just a standard 12-volt power supply. And I found these adaptable switches, so you can just switch them on and off, super easy and very convenient. This is what they look like. They're extremely bright. And let's get them in the light box. All right, first we want to open the light box again. Now that the image is all done, it just pulls apart. We are going to stick this through the hole, and these all have 3M tape on the back of them. So we just need to stick them down exactly where we want them. So it's going to look like this. And then we will add some electrical tape to keep the wires down. We don't want them creating shadows in the box later. So you can bend them, make them flat, and just add some electrical tape. All right, once everything is all taped down, we're gonna put the light box back on top and we can test it. So let's plug it in and perfect. All right, if you liked the tutorial and want to see more cool 3D printed things like this, follow along for more. I also do a daily video of just what I'm doing in the store, and I'll keep trying to do cool projects like this and teach you guys as well. With that all being said, happy printing and good luck.